People often come to me and ask for the best place to source clothing. And most of them ask specifically about importing clothing from China. But for most of you starting out, importing clothing from China is probably the wrong way to go. Now, there's a common misconception that clothing is no longer produced in the United States, but a significant amount of wholesale clothing is actually designed and made in Los Angeles, California, within the LA fashion district. Now, while sourcing wholesale clothing from China is popular, prices for China wholesale suppliers have gone up significantly over the years and continues to increase at a rapid pace. Many Chinese vendors no longer want to work in factories, and those that remain are receiving significant raises. Now, while you can still buy wholesale clothing from China, there are many disadvantages. For example, the lead times for receiving product are on the order of months. For example, you typically have to order your goods 3 to 4 months in advance, which makes inventory planning extremely important. The minimum order quantities are higher. The prices in China are super low, but you have to commit to larger quantities in order to make it worth your while. Think about multiple designs and multiple sizes that you might have to carry. Communication can also be a problem. In order to communicate with your factories, you either have to stay up late or wake up super early, and designing new products in China can be difficult as well. But when you source clothing in the United States, the process is much easier. Your wholesale clothing vendor is just a phone call away, the time zones are manageable, and in the worst case, you can just hop on a plane and visit. In addition, more and more customers want to buy clothing made in the USA. And within the US, the LA Fashion District is an excellent place to find wholesale clothing vendors. So what is the LA Fashion District? It is an area in downtown LA that specifically caters to wholesale and retail clothing vendors. The entire LA Fashion District spans roughly 100 square blocks and is known for being a creative center for the fashion industry. It is a top destination for wholesale buyers, retail shoppers, clothing designers, fashion students, and Hollywood stylists. Now, at the heart of the LA Fashion District are notable landmarks such as Santee Alley. Santee Alley is a popular outdoor shopping bazaar where you can shop amazing bargains on trendy apparel and accessories. There's also the California Market Center, or CMC. The California Market Center is the main fashion wholesale building on the West Coast that houses many fashion brands and events. There's also Newmart. This is where the annual LA Fashion Markets, LA Fashion Week, and other industry trade shows take place. Now, many clothing retailers source their fabrics and labor from Los Angeles, and the cost of goods are very reasonable. Now, in the LA Fashion District, you can easily find contract seamstresses and designers willing to work for a small shop. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you sign up for my free 6-day mini course below. Now, is the LA Fashion District expensive? Because it is in the US, right? Well, the pricing for wholesale apparel in the LA Fashion District is actually reasonable, but it does cost far more than sourcing from China. In general, the prices are roughly 2 to 3x more than what it costs to make the same item in China. But overall, if you look hard enough, you can easily find an apparel wholesaler willing to manufacture what you need in low minimum order quantities. In the LA Fashion District, there are different wholesale vendors that cater to all different sizes of businesses. Now, can anyone shop in the LA Fashion District? Yes, anyone can shop there, but many wholesale apparel vendors will ask for your seller's permit or your reseller's license. However, some vendors will just be willing to sell you clothing even if you don't run a business. Now, where is the LA Fashion District located, and is it safe? Well, first off, it's located in an area that is actually ranked as one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Los Angeles. However, during the day, shopping at the LA Fashion District is actually 100% safe. While there may be instances of petty theft, we've never once felt unsafe shopping there. Alright, so here's some tips for navigating the LA Fashion District. It can be overwhelming since there are stables and stables of clothing shops and accessory stands all over the place. But you should think about the LA Fashion District as a treasure hunt. There isn't a true destination or a starting point, more like steps in a discovery process to your end goal. Here are just some tips for finding a wholesale clothing vendor there. Number 1, bring a sample. If you have a sample in hand, vendors can take it apart and replicate the design. You also want to look for similar designs. Look for a vendor that produces clothing similar to the style that you're looking for. And if they can't produce what you want, ask them who can. Be prepared to walk around. Finding the right clothing vendor is an iterative process. You must be mentally prepared to walk around all day and step into 10 to 15 shops. Now, navigating the LA Fashion District can be time-consuming, so to save you some time, I made a list of the best 19 wholesale clothing vendors in Los Angeles that are based in or near the LA Fashion District. You should be able to find a vendor that works for you without having to look in China. Now, the first vendor is called Tasha Apparel. Tasha Apparel is one of the largest online boutique clothing vendors in LA that specializes in trendy, inexpensive, and high-quality women's dresses, skirts, tops, two-piece sets, rompers, leggings, and bottoms. They create hundreds of new products every single week, and they allow dropshipping. Here are their wholesale and dropshipping terms and conditions. Clothing comes in a pack of 6. There's free shipping for orders over $300. There are no minimums, but drop shipping requires that you fill out an application. The next vendor is called Crème. Crème is a wholesale clothing vendor based in downtown LA that specializes in bohemian clothing, beachwear, cover-ups, sundresses, and other contemporary women's clothing. Their clothing is cool, casual, and inspired by California's effortless vibe. Here are Crème's wholesale terms of service. Returns are acceptable within 10 days with a valid RMA. There are no refunds issued for the return, and only store credit is provided. All sale items are final, and a 20% restocking fee will be issued for unauthorized returns. The next clothing vendor is called Lush Clothing. Lush Clothing is a wholesale clothing vendor based in California that manufactures a collection of seasonal styles from casual to dressy. They're actually known for their color, texture, and on-trend designs from occasion dresses to chunky cardigans, bodysuits, and floral tops. Located in LA, Lush Clothing has been selling wholesale clothing for all types of businesses since 1995. Here are their wholesale terms of service. Returns are accepted within 14 days for damaged or defective items. No refunds are provided, only store credit, and there's a minimum order of $99 with net 60 terms. The next wholesale vendor is Bloom Wholesale. Bloom is a California-based wholesale clothing vendor that specializes in women and plus-size fashion at low prices. They've got no minimums for orders. However, larger purchases are eligible for quantity discounts. Choose from women's tops and dresses made with eye-catching styles and a relaxed and carefree vibe. Bloom is also a wholesale clothing dropshipper and will ship to your customer on your behalf. Here are their terms of service. Shipping is a flat rate of $9.95 for orders less than $800. There's no minimum purchase and single unit quantities are allowed, and returns are accepted within 3 days of receipt, and there's a 5% restocking fee. The next vendor is called Timing. Timing is a leading wholesale fashion company that specializes in the junior market, and they're the main supplier to many large retail chains in the US. Their clothing carries a casual vibe with bright and colorful prints. Timing also owns several sister product lines, which include Cover Stitched, Lumiere, and Missia Fashion. Here are Timing's wholesale terms and conditions. Minimum order quantity is $50. Returns must be made within 70 days, and all sales are final, and there are no refunds provided. Only store credit. Next vendor is Good Stuff Apparel. Good Stuff Apparel is a wholesale clothing vendor based out of LA that purchases overstocked goods from manufacturers and then sells them at a major discount. Hundreds of LA designers contribute to the latest fashion clothing to Good Stuff Apparel's extensive catalog. Choose from a variety of skirts, dresses, pants, joggers, apparel, jeans, activewear, sweaters, blouses, and jackets. First-time customers get 10% off, with most of their products already marked down 75% below wholesale. Clothing is available in all sizes for women and kids, including plus size. Here are their terms and conditions. Returns must be made within 5 days, and only store credit is provided. A resales license is required if your business is located in California, and there's no minimum order required. Next wholesale vendor is Wondery. Wondery is a wholesale clothing vendor that sells outdoor apparel with strong ties to the women's outdoor community. Their mission is to create awareness and resources for women to gain confidence in outdoor activities. Wondery sells wholesale through Fair, and here are some of their terms and conditions. The minimum order is $200. You get net 60 payment turns, and there's 30-day returns on unused merchandise. Next vendor is called Ocean & Main. Ocean & Main is an ethically sourced wholesale supplier of clothing that specializes in eco-friendly caftans and tunics inspired by the ocean. All pieces are made locally in LA, and they only sell high-quality boutique wholesale clothing. Ocean & Main clothing can be found in high-end retailers such as Neiman Marcus and Four Seasons Resorts. Their mission is to reduce the carbon footprint, and they use recycled water and give a portion of their earnings back to ocean preservation. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. The minimum order is $1,500. There's a $5 restocking fee on all returns, and garments that arrive in unsellable condition are subject to a $50 restocking fee. Next vendor is called Eva Franco. Eva Franco sells and designs feminine clothing that is sensuous and evokes old Hollywood glamour. They specialize in creating flattering dresses, skirts, and tops that are sculpted to emphasize a woman's shape and hide imperfections. Every collection incorporates unique and exclusive fabrics with special textures and weaves that Eva designs herself. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. Returns must be made within 14 days. All discounted items are final, and wholesale purchases are offered through Fair. The next vendor is Molly Pepper. Molly Pepper is a sleep and lounge lifestyle brand that specializes in sleepwear, clothing, and textiles. All fabric is handpicked and made from the finest silk and French lace. Molly Pepper launched her brand in 2016 with one-of-a-kind nightgowns, but it has since expanded her line to include robes, PJs, jumpsuits, slips, and other loungewear needs. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. There's a minimum $200 order, and wholesale orders are offered through Handshake and Fair. Next wholesale clothing vendor is Stylepick. Stylepick is a B2B online wholesale fashion marketplace located in the heart of LA that brings together hundreds of different vendors and buyers worldwide. Stylepick is essentially a virtual fashion trade show for clothing vendors and retailers. Here are their terms and conditions. All sales are final and there are no refunds or exchanges. Payment terms and methods may vary according to the vendor depending on how big you are, and the minimum purchase also depends on the vendor that you work with. The next vendor is called Mono B Clothing. Mono B is a female-owned, LA-based athleisure clothing brand that designs their apparel with balance and comfort. Every garment is versatile and can be worn while doing chores, meditating, hiking, or just relaxing. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. There's no minimum order, but clothes come in a pack of 6. International orders are accepted, and selling on Amazon is not allowed. All orders are final with no returns or exchanges. The next vendor is called Symphony Fashion. Symphony Fashion is a wholesale clothing company based in LA that specializes in stylish and dynamic night out and evening dresses. They are a premium fashion brand that strives to design what women want to wear that inspires confidence when they go out. Here are their terms and conditions. No returns are accepted unless the item is visibly damaged and only store credit is issued, and returns must be in their original packaging and unworn, unaltered, and unwashed. Application for a wholesale account is required. Next wholesale vendor is Cefian Fashion. Cefian Fashion is a wholesale and manufacturer of clothing for women who need apparel that they can wear to work, dinner dates, and a girls' night out. They design versatile pieces that look amazing and can be comfortably worn throughout the day. Now, what's unique about Cefian is that they are open to new suggestions and ideas, so you can contact them with your own requests and they'll try to accommodate you. Here are their terms and conditions. You can buy a surprise box, which is an assortment of discontinued, never released, or limited styles. No samples are allowed, but private labeling is available on special orders over $3,000. Plus and petite sizes are only offered on special orders over $3,000, and you can actually use their photos on your own website. All sales are final, and exchange and returns are only available for damaged items, and the minimum order is $100. The next vendor is called Davi and Dani. Founded in 2014, they are one of the largest wholesale clothing vendors in LA that sells inexpensive women's dresses, skirts, tops, two-piece outfits, rompers, leggings, and more. They also offer plus-size clothing and girls' clothing in basic, bohemian, missy, and sexy club styles. Hundreds of new styles are added every week. Wholesale shoppers can make purchases directly on their website, and there are special discounts for bulk orders. Here are their terms and conditions. Returns are accepted within 7 days, and there's no restocking fee if it is returned within 7 days, and there's no minimum order or purchase. The next wholesale vendor is called Wholesale Fashion Couture. Wholesale Fashion Couture is a reputable wholesale fashion store located in the heart of LA. They specialize in selling current and fashionable brands with thousands of styles to choose from. Shipping is free for orders over $299, and they sell dresses, tops, plus size, bottoms, rompers, jackets, jeans, and other quality clothing styles. Here are their terms and conditions. Unworn clothing in their original packaging can be returned within 14 days for a full refund. You can use their images and you get 25% off your first order. Next vendor is called LA Showroom. LA Showroom is a wholesale clothing marketplace that brings designers, apparel manufacturers, and distributors together for buyers worldwide. All collections are pre-screened for quality, and new fashion designers and manufacturers are added every single week. You can place orders with multiple manufacturers directly on the LA Showroom website. LA Showroom also offers special services like a buyer rewards program and access to images for your own website. Here are their terms and conditions. Registration to the marketplace is free, but you must have a seller's permit or a resale certificate. Orders, shipping, and return policies will vary depending on the manufacturer. The next wholesale vendor is Cinderella Divine. Cinderella Divine is a wholesale designer of formal gowns for prom, weddings, homecoming, cocktail dresses, and other special occasions. Established in 2006, Cinderella Divine supplies over 5,000 boutiques worldwide and offers a wide range of dresses at competitive prices. With over 200,000 gowns in stock, you can find a variety of styles to carry in your online store. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. All sales are final, and there's no refunds or returns accepted, and you must be registered to make a purchase. The next vendor is called Vocal. Vocal is a wholesale women's clothing manufacturer that caters to women looking for a modern look with a vintage twist. They create garments with elaborate designs that are rebellious with a vintage flair. Vocal makes every single piece in their factory in LA, and all operations are in the US, and each garment is strictly made with the finest materials and workmanship. Here are their wholesale terms and conditions. All returns must be made within 10 days. A 15% restocking fee is issued for any unauthorized or overdue returns, and there's a $200 minimum order on purchases. So the million-dollar question is the LA Fashion District worth visiting? Well, it is definitely worth visiting if you want to sell clothing and apparel online. If you have a design pattern and know what fabric you want, you can actually have a prototype made on the spot. But keep in mind that there are many different steps and players involved in making a single piece of clothing. When it comes to choosing fabric, it can be overwhelming unless you know roughly what type of material you need. In fact, you should spend some time doing research before you actually go to the fashion district to make your time there more productive. Bring a prototype or a sample so you can get an accurate quote from manufacturing. So overall, the LA Fashion District is a great place to find wholesale suppliers. For textiles at least, it's worth looking to source locally at first before making a larger commitment to overseas manufacturing. By the way, if you're watching this video and you feel ready to import from China, make sure you watch this video here for a complete list of China wholesale suppliers. I'll go over every single supplier in depth so you can choose the right one for your business.